Friends from media, my colleagues from the headquarters, ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of the 93rd anniversary of Indian Air Force, it's my proud privilege to be here and extend a very warm welcome to you all. This day, it's an opportunity for us to think about what has been done in the last 1 year and also celebrate from where we have started to which place we have reached. And also it is the time for us to pay our respect and be thankful to our predecessors, our veterans who have really guided us all these years and brought us to where we have landed up today. So the last 1 year, if I can start, I think the first thing that I must start with is Operation Sindoor. So that was the highlight of this year gone by. In the aftermath of what happened in Pahalgam, we all know that we took a decision that we have to make them pay a price for whatever they have been doing and to avenge that, killings of the innocents. And a clear directive, clear mandate was given to the Indian Armed Forces, and Indian Air Force was the prime stakeholder in that, in terms of, two major targets out of the 9 that were chosen towards terrorist camps were given to Indian Air Force to address. And I think the way that whole even went by, the way in the aftermath, that 3 or 4 days of conflict that we had with our Western neighbor, it stands as a lesson which will go down in history that, this is one war that was started with a very clear objective, and it was terminated in a quick time without, just prolonging it. We are seeing what is happening in the world. The 2 wars that are going on, there's no talk about termination, but we could make them reach a stage where they ask for a ceasefire, ask for termination of hostilities. And also we took a call as a nation to terminate those hostilities because our own objectives were met. I think this is something that the world needs to learn from us, and I have said this earlier also. During that conflict of 4 days, that is attacking the terrorist camps and thereafter giving them a befitting reply to their misadventures, trying to attack our civil population and attack our military installations. Our robust air defense infrastructure, was very, very important part of the whole plan, and that came in, it along with its, all the 3 services, the Army, Navy, Air Force assets being merged together, the air defense assets, the counter UAV assets, and everything working under one combined control of IACCS. It worked out to be a game changer, and under that they were almost not allowed to any freedom to do anything. And our long-range SAMs, the long-range SAMs that we had procured recently and operationalized, that again, turned the table on them. We could look deep inside their territory. We could make sure that they were not able to operate even within their territory, up to a certain distance. And it will go down in the history that longest kill that we achieved of more than 300 kilometers by that. And it seriously curtailed their activities. Of course, as far as offensive action is concerned, the indigenously developed weapons, the indigenously integrated weapons were used, long-range weapons were used with good precision, and pan front, about 1,200 kilometers of border front, and deep inside enemy territory up to almost 200 plus kilometers inside. We were able to strike. We were able to strike with precision, with minimal collateral, trying our best not to have any casualties from civilian side. And we were able to bring them to their knees in, actually speaking, 1 night of intensive operations. And, ability of Air Force to be able to deliver this catastrophic firepower. And, it has been shown, I think, first time after 1971. And this is something that the nation has not seen in the recent past. And our own motto this year, that has been Achuk, Bhede, Evam Satik, has been proven in this operation, if I can say. Achuk, जो अपने मिशन से कभी चूकता नहीं है, जो अभेद्य, impervious, जिसको कभी भेदा नहीं जा सकता, और सटीक, the precision which was shown in our strikes, which जिसका सबको पास सबूत है, open source में the satellite images are showing the kind of hits that we were able to achieve. तो ये जो अचूक, अभेद्य और सटीक, हमने अपने आप को एक्चुअली प्रूव किया इस ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में. एंड ये सिर्फ एक इंडियन एयरफोर्स की अचीवमेंट नहीं थी. ऑपरेशन सिंदूर एक और बात में बहुत मायने रखता है कि हम तीनों सर्विसेज ने एक साथ प्लानिंग करी है, एक साथ एग्जीक्यूशन करा है और इस मिशन को अंजाम तक पहुंचाया है. तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी बात है जो पहली बार हुई है जब राइट फ्रॉम प्लानिंग स्टेज तीनों सर्विसेज ने काम एक साथ किया है. एक बात मैं इसमें जरूर कहना चाहूंगा कि इस मिशन में आप लोगों ने, आपने और आपके साथियों ने, मीडिया ने एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले किया है. क्योंकि जो फॉग ऑफ वॉर जिसे हम पहले कहते थे, लैक ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, क्या हो रहा है, कहां क्या हो रहा है, वो आजकल उसका जो मतलब थोड़ा चेंज हो गया है. आजकल थोड़ा ऑफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन इज कॉजिंग फॉग ऑफ वॉर. चारों तरफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन है. तो हमारे मीडिया ने बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से उसको हैंडल किया. काफी जगह पे काफी चैनल्स ने, काफी मीडिया पर्सनल ने उसको क्लैरिफाई किया है. जो गलत न्यूज फैल रही थी, क्या फेक न्यूज फैल रही थी, और मतलब इफ आई कैन से दैट फौज का कंधे से कंधा मिला के साथ दिया. और इस सब में ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है कि जो हमारे सोल्जर्स हैं, जो हमारे फील्ड में काम कर रहे हैं, वो लोग इन सब मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन से अफेक्ट ना हो. हमारे जो जनरल पब्लिक है उसका जो मोराल है वो डाउन ना हो. तो उसमें जो आप लोगों ने सहयोग दिया और आप लोगों ने जो काम दिया वो बहुत सराहनीय है. और मैं आप सबके इसके लिए आप सबका और आपके साथियों का धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा. मे भी कोई एक दो चैनल्स थे जो कुछ और कह रहे थे या कुछ और किसी और तरफ जा रहे थे, लेकिन जनरली majority was totally in sync with what was happening and in sync with the fighting for one nation, which is very, very commendable. As far as other than Sindoor, other than operations, what is concerned is, of course, we have been consistently demonstrating our commitment towards humanitarian aid in disaster relief operations or any time aid to civil authorities that is required. इस साल बहुत सारे ऐसे ओकेजन है जब भारतीय वायुसेना को ये काम करना पड़ा. बिहार, तमिलनाडु, असम, जम्मू कश्मीर, जगह जगह पे. एंड वेदर इट वाज असम का कोल माइन कोलैप्स या फिर सेलम का टनल रेस्क्यू या एवलांश इन माना, मणिपुर लैंडस्लाइड या फ्लड्स इन वेरियस स्टेट्स लाइक असम, सिक्किम, हिमाचल प्रदेश, सब जगह पे हमारे जहाजों ने, हमारे सोल्जर्स ने, हमारे गरुड्स ने, अलॉन्ग विद अदर एजेंसीज लाइक आर्मी, नेवी, एनडीआरएफ, उन सब के साथ मिलके सहयोग दिया और ये काम किया है. ऑपरेशन सिंधु में इंडियन एयरफोर्स के जहाजों ने जो इवैक्यूएशन किया है फ्रॉम इंटरनेशनल क्राइसिस जोन, airlifting lot of personnel and of Indian origin back to India. Also during various international crises like Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Kenya, वहां पे भी हमारे एयरक्राफ्ट, हमारे पर्सनल या तो मटेरियल लेके गए हैं या बाकी रिलीफ ऑपरेशंस वाले इक्विपमेंट लेके गए हैं या एनडीआरएफ की टीम्स को डिप्लॉय कराया गया है. So the compassion, speed and reliability with which Indian Air Force has delivered hope, under these hazardous conditions, it embodies the ideal, highest ideals of service before self. ऑल्सो जो ये एक साल निकला है उसमें हमने बहुत सारे बाकी कंट्रीज के साथ बायलैटरल और मल्टीलैटरल एक्सरसाइजेस करी हैं. ये एक्सरसाइजेस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती हैं क्योंकि इनके थ्रू हम अपने विचार उन तक पहुंचा सकते हैं, उनके विचारों को ग्रहण कर सकते हैं, कुछ नया सीख सकते हैं, कुछ सिखा सकते हैं. और सबसे ज्यादा है कि आपका जो आपस में एक रैपो बन जाता है इंटरनेशनल फोरम में, वो बहुत जरूरी होता है. सो इसमें जितनी भी एक्सरसाइजेज हुई हैं, आई कैन काउंट अ फ्यू कंट्रीज लाइक यूएई, इजिप्ट, ग्रीस, फ्रांस, सिंगापुर, इन सब के साथ लास्ट ईयर हमने एक्सरसाइज करी है, कुछ बायलैट्स और कुछ मल्टीलैटरल. एंड हर जगह से जहां पे भी मेरे को इनके सीनियर ऑफिसर्स या चीफ्स या किसी भी हाई ऑफिशियल से मिलने का मौका मिला है, मेरे को इस बात का बहुत गर्व है कि सब जगह हमारी टीम्स की, हमारे जो लोग वहां जाते हैं, काफी प्रशंसा हुई है. कई लोगों ने स्पेशली मुझे कॉल करके ये बोला है कि द वे आर टीम्स हैव कंडक्टेड, द वे दे हैव बीन एबल टू orchestrate things there, they are very happy and they would like to continue this cooperation. So that has been a good success in the past 1 year. And अगर मैं स्पेस डोमेन की बात करूं तो वहां पे ये साल हमारे लिए एक स्वर्णिम अक्षरों में लिखा जाने वाला साल रहा, क्योंकि एक्सियम 4 मिशन में हमारे अपने एक पायलट ग्रुप कैप्टन शुभांशु शुक्ला उसमें गए थे, तो वो हम सब ने देखा है. उसके अलावा इन जो 4 गगन नॉट्स को सिलेक्शन, उनकी ट्रेनिंग, उनका जो करिकुलम, उस सब में हमारा योगदान रहा है. और इनका जो एक जो गगनयान का जो हमारा ह्यूमन इन स्पेस का जो हमारा एक प्रोग्राम है, उसके लिए जो कैप्सूल तैयार हुआ है, उसके भी ड्रॉप टेस्ट में हमने इस साल योगदान दिया. वो ड्रॉप टेस्ट हमारी एयरक्राफ्ट के थ्रू किया गया था, जो सक्सेसफुल रहा है. सो नाउ वी हैव राकेश शर्मा एंड along with that now we have Shubhanshu Shukla who has joined the gang who people who have been in space, and both of them happen to be Air Force people. So I'm very proud of that. Now we just cannot rest on our past laurels. ये जो साल गया है ये अच्छा गया है, लेकिन हमें आगे क्या करना है ये बहुत जरूरी है. एंड ये भी जरूरी है कि हम सिर्फ पिछले हुए साल से ही सिर्फ के बारे में मत सोचते रहे, हम आगे भी सोचें. एंड वी ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड दैट द कैरेक्टर ऑफ वॉर इज एवर चेंजिंग. एंड जो अगली लड़ाई होगी, the next war is not going to be exactly like the previous one. It is going to be different. So उसके लिए हमें अपनी थिंकिंग कैप्स हमेशा ऑन रखनी है. और अभी रेडी तो रहना ही है. नाउ रेडी के साथ साथ हमें फ्यूचर रेडी के लिए भी काम करना है. सो दैट वर्क इज पैरेलली गोइंग ऑन. वी आर टू ट्रांसफॉर्म आवरसेल्व्स टू अ मल्टी डोमेन केपेबल एयरोस्पेस पार्क, and which is capable of protecting the interests of the nation, and it's a credible military instrument of choice across the entire spectrum of conflict. So for this we have drawn out a roadmap up to 2047, which is a Vision 2047, which has been drawn out, and we are working towards that. That roadmap is not cast in stone. Obviously, it's 20-25 years ahead. Thinking about that is it's a tough task, especially in these kind of technologies, the way things are changing. But as of today, what we expect, the way that things should turn, we have drawn out our own roadmap, and we are working on that. And of course, we are also looking at what is happening around the world so that we can make some minor changes to that. So the vision that we have drawn out in that is, of course, built around Atmanirbharta, because I fully understand, all of you understand also that Atmanirbharta बहुत ही जरूरी है अगर हमें कल को एक सुपर पावर बनना है, अगर हमें इंडिपेंडेंट बनना है. नहीं तो हम किसी ना किसी पे डिपेंड करेंगे, तो जब हमें जरूरत होगी हमें वो इक्विपमेंट नहीं मिलेगा, या जो हमें इक्विपमेंट मिलेगा उसकी हम पूरी तरह उसको एक्सप्लॉइट नहीं कर पाएंगे, या जब वो आउटडेट हो रहा होगा उसको हम आगे नहीं ले जा पाएंगे. तो इसके लिए आत्मनिर्भरता बहुत बहुत जरूरी है। तो उसके लिए जो काम देश में चल रहे हैं हम सबको पता है। ऑफ कोर्स LCA Mark 1A के तो ऑर्डर्स प्लेस्ड हैं, एक ये Mark 2 हम का ये एयरक्राफ्ट प्रोग्राम्स हैं, उधर प्रचंड के ऑलरेडी R&D पार्ट हो चुका है। लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीशन स्टेज में है। IMRH की प्लानिंग शुरू हो गई है। मीडियम ट्रांसपोर्ट एयरक्राफ्ट का डिजाइन चल रहा है। एंड इसके अलावा वेपन साइड में अगर मैं बात करूं तो अस्त्र, उसके वेरियस वर्जन, देन आकाश सरफेस टू एयर वाले में आकाश नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, कुशा लॉन्ग रेंज वेपन, ऑफ कोर्स प्रलय, ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल्स, द स्मार्ट एंटी एयरफील्ड वेपन्स। इसके अलावा AEW&C एयरक्राफ्ट, उसमें जो काम चल रहा है, एंड वेरियस रडार्स, अश्लेषा, अश्विनी, अरुद्रा। सो ये सब हम इन सब में अपनी सपोर्ट दे रहे हैं। इन सब में हमारी टीम्स DRDO के साथ, HAL के साथ लगी हुई हैं, जो इसका आगे प्रोग्रेस मॉनिटर भी कर रही हैं और अपने जो आइडियाज, अपने जो सजेशंस है वो भी दिए जा रहे हैं। लेकिन ये भी एक बात हमने ध्यान में रखी है कि हम आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ तो बढ़ेंगे ही, लेकिन टू बी नाउ रेडी वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट in case we are not able to catch up with technology, then we need to take some different kind of measures. Maybe, if required, we go in for some strategic kind of partnership where some aircraft, some system that we immediately need the technology can be brought to India and can be manufactured in India. This will help us in two ways. One is quick, filling up of our gaps, and second is infusion of technology in India and helping our own R&D sector absorb and become better in that technology. So the work is on towards this to look at what is possible from the world, which can be incorporated in this part. Otherwise, Indian government has taken a lot of initiative in supporting, in encouraging the small industries, the MSMEs, the startups, and again, Indian Air Force is doing its best to encourage these people. We already have a Directorate of Aerospace Design, DAD, which is working. Actually, it is doing a job of a DAD. It is hand-holding, it is taking them forward like a good dad and helping them achieve their goals. So a lot of work towards the development of indigenous products by these sector is on. We have to, like I said, we have to strike a balance in what we should do immediately and what is the long run, and that is being done. As far as the holistic, system for defense of India, which Honorable Prime Minister also talked about, the Sudarshan Chakra. So we've already put our heads together in this, all the three services, and along with DRDO, and we have started working towards developing a system which will, of course, have the IACCS, our own integrated air command and control system, as the heart of this. And it will have all the elements so that it becomes, and it is, it falls under that the three criteria of testing: achuk, abhedya, or sateek. Future warfare, like I said, like we did it in Sindoor, it will always require integrated approach with not just the three services, but also all other agencies coming together of the DRDO and DPSUs, and we have to make sure that whatever lessons we have learned from Sindoor, wherever we were good, wherever we think we could have done better in terms of integration, we should progress towards that, and a lot of work is going on towards this, developing some integrated structures so that these become more formalized structures rather than ad hoc, so that we can have collective strength. कहते हैं एक मिल के 11 बनता है, एक दो नहीं होते हैं, तो वैसा ही as far as one thing I want to say, in the past 1 year, courtesy of Sindoor, the relevance of air power has come to fore. How fast, how deep, how offensively can air power strike and achieve your, conflict termination criteria. So that has come to fore, and this is something which may have been, I won't say forgotten, but may have lost sight of in routine, day-to-day things. And now we have to make sure that this part is not forgotten, and this part is understood by everybody, and this air power continues to get its relevance. When I say air power, doesn't mean only Indian Air Force. Air power includes everything that flies, everything that uses medium of air, whether it is by Army, Navy, civil aviation, or anything. So, in the end, I just want to assure the people of India, मैं सभी भारतीयों से ये अपना वादा करना चाहूंगा कि भारतीय वायुसेना जब भी कभी जरूरत पड़ेगी, जिस भी तरीके से जरूरत पड़ेगी, अपनी ड्यूटीज को बखूबी निभाएगी. हम अपनी तरफ से फुल्ली कमिटेड हैं इसके लिए और कमिटेड रहेंगे. मैं यही बात अपने सभी एयर वॉरियर्स से कहता हूं जब भी मैं कहीं भी जाता हूं कि वी हैव टू बी a citizen first, a nationalist first, and thereafter be an air warrior. And we'll continue to be that. With that, thank you very much for your coming here and joining us in this. And we are looking forward to this week of celebrations and also introspection. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome questions now. We'll start with the agencies first. Vishal.
Afternoon, sir. Vishal from News. Sir, you've just spoken at length about self-reliance and also operational readiness. So my question would be on the progress made on the AMCA, and also with President Putin expected by December, is S-57 also on your radar?
Ajit.
Sir, morning. This is Ajit Dubey from ANI, sir. Sir, you talked about Operation Sindoor. Now it's been almost 4 or 5 months since that happened. Can you tell us, sir, how many Pakistani aircraft, both on ground and in air, were shot down by the Indian Air Force? And, sir, do you think with the proposed induction of 114 Rafales, you would be able to protect the nation in a much better way?
PTI. Manas.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Manas Pratim Bhayan from PTI, Press Trust of India. So after Operation Sindoor...
Could you speak a little louder, please? I can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. This is Manas from PTI, Press Trust of India. So in the last few weeks, you have been talking about primacy of air power for national security. And in your address at the Ransamabad in Mall, you talked about the need for the armed forces not to succumb to any pressure to roll out theater commands. And a day after your comments, the Chief of Defense Staff talked about certain dissonance in the armed forces about theater commands, and he said that we will discuss and sort out these issues. So in your speech, you talked about the need for setting up a joint command and control center in Delhi. So what is IAF's clear view about theater commands? Are you game for it, or you are basically not going to agree to it? Thank you.
Can I take them or no? मैं भूल जाऊंगा नहीं. Okay, so I'll take it on one by one. As far as self-reliance and op readiness is concerned, can you, your voice was also not very clear, but what I understood was that AMCA program, where is it? So I think that question can be best answered by ADA or Chairman DRDO, exactly, because we do get our feedback time to time, but exactly where is it in terms of, as of today, he should be able to answer better. As I understand, it is going to fly in this decade, in 2020s, 28, somewhere, that's the first flight planned. And by 2035, supposed to be inducted and operationalized in Indian Air Force as of now. So it's a tough task if you look at it from point of view the way LCA Mark 1 has gone, but at the same time now they have got a lot of experience behind them. So if and also we have some new model which is being tried out, that is the industry model, where the private industry is being allowed in this. So I personally feel this timeline can be achieved or maybe even bettered if people really want to do it. It's possible. And as far as technology is concerned, now AMCA technology is fairly clear in our mind as to what we want and what is required and where it is available and how it is available. A lot of parallel work is going on. So I think that should be able to meet the timelines according to me. As far as Su-57, S-57, correct? Su-57. So that is concerned, I just want to say is that we have to weigh all the options, and we in Defense Ministry and in Indian Air Force, we have a very set process of induction of any weapon system, and that process will be followed. So what comes will depend on what meets the requirement and what is the best for us. And I'm sure whatever decisions collectively is taken will be best for the Indian Defence Forces. Mr. Dubey's question, as far as Pakistan losses are concerned, I think it was very clear. It was clearly spelled out in the initial debriefs also that we have struck a large number of their airfields, and we struck a large number of their installations. And what we have gathered from whatever int reports we have got is that on ground, because of our strikes, there have been radars at least 4 places, command and control centers at 2 places, runway, of course, damaged at 2 places. Then 3 of their hangars in 3 different stations have been damaged. And in that hangar, as well as on tarmac, we have signs of one C-130 class of aircraft, one AEW&C class of aircraft, and at least 4 to 5 fighter aircraft, most likely F-16, because that base happened to be F-16, which would have been under maintenance that time. Along with that, one SAM system, which has been destroyed. And so these are the strikes that, the destruction that has taken place on ground by our strikes. And as far as air defense part is concerned, we have clear evidence of one long-range strike, which I talked about, more than 300 kilometers, which happens to be either an AEW&C or a SIGINT aircraft. Along with that, 5 fighters, that high-tech fighters between F-16 and JF-17 class is what our system tells us. Now, coming to the third one, and as far as theaterization is concerned, jointmanship is concerned, jointmanship we all know is progressing very well. And as far as new structures, theaterization is nothing but drawing out new structures towards war fighting. Now that process has to go on. There is no doubt in my mind that we need joint structures to make it formal and clear to everybody how we are going to fight. But which structure is what we have to really think about, and the discussions are on for that. Now, when most of the places where some statements have come in are places where actually it was not sort of meant for a public statement. It was more the discussion, in a round table or in a kind of a fireside chat. So it has been, I think, not taken in the right way by saying that there are differences. There are discussions going on. Of course, if you don't have different opinions about a thing, we will never reach the best. If we just say yes, yes, yes to everything, we will not reach the best. So we have to achieve, the best structure possible, for which discussion is mandatory. And that is what is going on. And my way of looking at it, what statement I had made was that let's not get colored by what is going on in the world or what structure is in which country. Let us devise our own structure, based on experiences, of course. Read up about everything, find out about everything. See your own experience of Operation Sindoor, what happened in Operation Sindoor. It's available right in front of us now. So we should be able to draw out a structure which is most capable of delivering a joint action or joint planning and delivering better than what we are doing today. If we can't achieve better than what we are doing today, then that structure is not good enough, is what I meant. Yeah, so yes, so these are one of the options, like Su-57 he talked about, you talked about Rafale. So this is one of the options that is available with us, because we had already done our own homework in terms of the earlier MMRCA contract, in that we have found Rafale to be the best aircraft suited for us in those numbers, amongst those candidates. And means any aircraft of that class is what is required immediately. Now, whether it is Rafale or something else, it really doesn't matter. But yes, Rafale is easy to absorb. So whichever design house is ready to come with the proposal to make in India, to give us technology, give us more freedom, I think that design house should be chosen.
Ajay?
Sir, good afternoon. Ajay Banerjee from the Tribune. Sir, I have a question and a clarification. First, sir, what your words are, is it clear that we are looking for a 5th generation plane? Because you are saying that we look at the best processes, so I seek a clarification on that. Are we seeking a 5th generation fighter plane from another country? I'm not taking names. Secondly, sir, you have spoken about the 2047 plan. So my question is, sir, does this plan include a mandate of more fighter squadrons or combat squadrons for the Air Force beyond the 42 at the moment, the mandate you have?
So one hand, Akash. Either.
Hi sir, I'm Akash from CR News.
Okay.
Sir, we have seen an extensive use of S-400 during Operation Sindoor. We know that how 2 squadrons are still pending with Russia, but are there any plans of procurement of more units or possibly S-500s now?
Poonam?
सर मैं पूनम पांडे हूँ नवभारत टाइम्स से इधर सर
हाँ जी ओके
सर आपने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की बात की लास्ट ईयर का पूरा हाईलाइट ऑपरेशन सिंदूर रहा लेकिन उस समय ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान पाकिस्तान ने लगातार ये कहा कि हमने इंडियन एयरफोर्स के इतने जेट गिरा दिए हैं और दुनिया ने उसको सही भी माना क्योंकि हमारी तरफ से कोई काउंटर नहीं हुआ 3 महीने बाद आपने उसका काउंटर किया जब आपने बोला कि हमने उनके 6 या 7 फाइटर जेट गिराए क्या नैरेटिव की इस जंग में हम कहीं पीछे रह गए थे जो बाद में हमने करेक्शन किया और सर सीडीएस ने एक इंटरव्यू में बोला था सिंगापुर में उन्होंने एक इंटरव्यू दिया था उसमें उन्होंने बोला था कि शुरू में हमसे टेक्निकल मिस्टेक हुई और उन्होंने एक चीज बोली कि 2 दिन बाद फिर हमारे जेट फिर से उड़े तो उससे कहीं ना कहीं ये कंफ्यूजन हुआ कि क्या 2 दिन तक ग्राउंडेड थे हमारे जेट अगर आप इस पर क्लैरिफिकेशन दे सकें तो
Okay. So, as far as that first question is concerned, I think it is linked to what I said earlier also. It's not a particular generation, it is not a particular, we are looking at some capabilities. So generations are very, difficult to define. When you say 5th generation, one aircraft is 5th generation, other is 5th generation, it's not that they are equally capable, they may be quite different from each other. So whether 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5 generation, these generations are very difficult to qualify. So मैं यही कहूंगा कि हमें हमें जहाज चाहिए, हाँ जी चाहिए, LCA चाहिए, हाँ जी चाहिए, LC के अलावा भी कुछ चाहिए, जी हाँ चाहिए. So वो क्या हो सकता है? That is the talk, that is the what I said, process which is on. So उससे ज्यादा मैं कुछ नहीं बोल पाऊंगा इसके बारे में. और 2047 प्लान, अगेन मैं कुछ चीजें मैं यहाँ पे ये क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूंगा कि मैं कुछ चीजें जान के नहीं बताना चाहूंगा ओपन फोरम में, बिकॉज what happens is, I understand, one of the requirement of media is that you should be able to take the truth to the public. Yes, very much required. But at the same time, just remember, earlier days when you took truth to the public, your own public read it, that's all. Now, anything you say, anything you print, anything that happens, everybody sees it. Everybody, including our adversaries. So, कुछ चीजें हमें उसको मैं अंडर रैप्स रखना चाहूंगा कि कितने, क्या, ज्यादा, कम, मैं उसके बारे में जान के नहीं बोल रहा हूं. As far as same आपका क्वेश्चन था कि S400 and obviously that has done good. So there's a requirement to have more such. There is no limit to numbers that you can buy. Again, I'm keeping quiet on what is the plan, whether we want to buy more, how much. If it comes to you through some other source, at least I will not be guilty that I have said something. Okay, I'm not saying it will not reach you. You might get it from some other source, but it has proved to be a good weapon system. We have our own system also developing, so we will take a call on that. And similarly, इधर जो ये क्वेश्चन मेरे से पूछा गया कि उन्होंने कहा हमने इतने जेट गिराए, आपने कुछ नहीं बोला. मैं अभी भी कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूं उसके बारे में, और ना मैं बोलना चाहूंगा. अगर वो सोचते उन्होंने मेरे 15 जेट गिराए हैं, उनको सोचने दो. I hope they are convinced about it and they will cater for 15 less aircraft in my inventory when they come to fight again. So why should I talk about it? तो मैं उसके बारे में आज भी कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा कि क्या हुआ, कितना नुकसान हुआ, नहीं हुआ, कैसे हुआ, क्या, कुछ नहीं बताना चाहिए, क्योंकि उनको पता करने दो ना. जैसे हम भी तो कुरेद के निकाल रहे हैं ना, हमने क्या कर पाए हम लोग, तो उनको भी निकालने दो. लेकिन ये बात आपको सब वेरी क्लियर है कि आपने कोई एक ऐसी पिक्चर देखी है जहां पे हमारे किसी एयरबेस में कुछ गिरा हो, कुछ लगा हो, कोई हैंगर डिस्ट्रॉयड हो, कुछ हो, जो इतनी सारी पिक्चर्स हमने उधर की दिखा दी, वैसे एक भी पिक्चर वो नहीं दिखा पाए हमें. सो उनका जो नैरेटिव है वो आई थिंक उनके जो वो मनोहर कहानियां हैं. सो चलने दो, अच्छा है, उनको खुश रहने दो. एंड मे बी उनको अपनी पब्लिक को कुछ दिखाना है अपने साख बचाने के लिए. मेरे को कोई इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Okay.
हाँ जी, सेकेंड पार्ट तो आप प्लीज सीडीएस से जाके पूछिए ये उन्होंने क्यों कहा, कैसे कहा. वाई शुड आई आंसर? Because if I say something, maybe he meant something else, I will say something wrong. So he's my senior, let him answer this part, please.
Next. Sudhi.
Sir, Sudhi Rajan from Bloomberg. So I want to go back to the 2047 perspective plan. I'm not asking for any details, but if you could give us a broad understanding, what do you think 10 years down the line or decades down the line, will it be unmanned aerial vehicles or will it be fighters of a different, type, or what is the kind of warfare that you're preparing for, given that we have a very, very hostile neighborhood, sir? Broad capabilities that you're looking at acquiring.
Colonel.
Sir, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Umang, sir, from Life of Soldiers. Yes, sir. So my question to you is that on 10th of May, post 1500 hours, Pakistan sent drones towards Ratnuchak, Jammu. Did we do any punitive action post the announcement of a so-called partial ceasefire?
Okay.
हेलो सर, इधर कृष्ण मिश्रा, स्पुतनिक इंडिया से। सर, सुखोई 30 के अपग्रेड का जो प्रोसेस है वो कहां तक पहुंची सर, और कितने एयरक्राफ्ट अपग्रेड किए जाएंगे इसमें?
Yeah, so first, as far as perspective plan is concerned, that plan has been, it was a study which was ordered within Air Headquarters, and it took a few months to complete the study. That plan is quite comprehensive. It just doesn't talk about platforms or weapons. It talks about kind of technology. It talks about even HR requirement, talks about training requirement. It talks about keeping track of what is happening in future. That's why I said that plan itself says that this plan is not cast in stone. The first, introduction to that plan is like that every 5 years we must revisit and see what has happened and where have we reached and what have we achieved, and we change that. So that is something. Obviously, it has requirement to change with technology. We understand that at the moment the technology that we are operating in many aircraft is now an outdated technology. But yes, does it have no relevance as of now? I will say that is not correct to say. Any aircraft which can do its job to some extent will have some relevance, and may not be, in different stages of war, in different types of conflicts, it will have its relevance. So we have to maintain that aircraft, upgrade it to whatever best that we can do, and that is what is going on. But at the same time, we need to keep, looking at newer aircraft and replacing those. So the plan talks exactly on those lines, not only in terms of platforms, but also weapon systems, the kind of new technology radars which are coming in, the kind of surface-to-air weapon systems are coming in, and plus what kind of manpower reorientation we will require, what kind of training requirements and how those should be met. So that is how it is. But yes, I had made a statement earlier that actually if we are talking about just replacing our aircraft because they have got a limited life, we need almost 2 squadrons worth being produced in a year to remain, at a number which is comfortable and to grow at a rate which is comfortable. So that is the minimum requirement that we have. That means close to about 30 to 40 aircraft per year. Now, the second question about 10th of May. So once the ceasefire is announced, 1,500 hours you said? Sorry. Yeah. So once the ceasefire is announced, I thought ceasefire is announced on 10th of May in the evening. So there's some confusion in this. Sorry? No, so there was no drone activity that I'm aware of around 1,500 hours on 10th of May. So there's some confusion. So once a ceasefire has been announced by the government, it's a nation announcing the ceasefire, I don't think I'll be able to say anything about that. Did we do anything or did we not do anything? Because if we ask even the other side, I don't think they'll say, no, we sent it. Because they will be going back on their words if they say, yes, we sent it. So I will not be able to answer this question. As far as Su-30 upgrade is concerned, the progress is on in that in terms of we are developing systems parallelly, and meanwhile the process of integration, the contracting for integration of those systems is what is going on. It will involve some places where even Russians will get involved because certain systems HAL may not be able to handle totally on their own in the initial part. So that discussion is on. Numbers, of course, it can't be more than the numbers that we have. But I think generally when you have programs like this, finally you cater for about 70-75% of the fleet getting upgraded, because by the time you reach the last of the upgrade, some aircraft would have reached the end of their life. So that is, I can say generally. Exact number again, I've decided this time I will not speak numbers here. Though they are available maybe in certain other earlier documents, but they may be wrong.
Okay, I heard. So on Ashutosh.
सर गुड आफ्टरनून, मेरा नाम आशुतोष भाटिया है, मैं अमर उजाला अखबार से हूं। मेरा सवाल ये है सर कि चूंकि हम ये कह रहे हैं कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर अभी जारी है, पिछले दिनों हमने एक खबर देखी कि जो मेन टेरर तंजीमें हैं, जैश-ए मोहम्मद, लश्कर-ए-तैयबा और हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन, इन्होंने अपने ठिकाने हमारी प्रॉक्सिमिटी से दूर खैबर पख्तूनवा में एफ पाक बॉर्डर पर बना दिए हैं, करीब 47 किलोमीटर दूर वहां से। उनका ये जो कदम है, क्या ऑपरेशनली हमारे विकल्प रिलेटिवली अब सीमित हुए हैं आपकी नजर में, या हमारे इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा है?
शिवानी।
Hi sir, I'm Shivani Sharma from India Today. I have a question. Can we get some clarity on the expectations from the Indian Air Force on the induction of Tejas Mark 1A, as we've been getting claims from the HAL also that they are almost ready with the first 2 Mark 1As at Nashik, and we'll be seeing the first flight. What do you expect, and can we get some clarity on the timelines from your side?
Madhurendra.
सर मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज नेशन से दिस साइड। सर अभी तक हम लोगों ने पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर और हमारे प्रोक्योरमेंट को लेकर काफी बातचीत की। मेरा सवाल चीन बॉर्डर को लेकर है कि जो हमारी चिंताएं चीन को लेकर है, खासतौर पे उसके डिप्लॉयमेंट और जिस तरह से एलएसी पर चाइना लगातार अपने बिल्डअप्स को कर रहा है, अपनी तैयारियों को कर रहा है, उसकी एयर स्ट्रिप्स देखिए, उसके हैंगर्स देखिए, वो सभी बात के प्रमाण है कि किस तरह से भारत के लिए फ्यूचर चैलेंजेस चीन की तरफ से बढ़ने वाले हैं। और जाहिर तौर पर पाकिस्तान के साथ अगर हम देखें तो दोनों देश जब साथ होते हैं, जैसा कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भी हमने देखा, उसको आपने स्वीकार भी किया कि किस तरह से चीन पाकिस्तान को हेल्प कर रहा था, तो 2 फ्रंट वॉर की स्थिति को लेकर भी हम इनको देख सकते हैं। तो हमारी तैयारियां क्या है चीन के अगर खिलाफ हम देखें, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को लेकर, हमारे बिल्डअप को लेकर और जाहिर तौर पर फ्यूचर कोर्स ऑफ एक्शंस को लेकर?
So first question regarding ये जो उन्होंने अपने ठिकाने चेंज किया, ऑब्वियसली वो तो एक्सपेक्टेड था कि अगर उनको हम कहीं पे जाके मारेंगे तो उनको अपनी जगह बदलनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि उनको पता चल गया कि ये तो एक्सपोज हो गया है। सो हमें भी ऐसी खबर आ रही है कि उनके ठिकाने चेंज हो रहे हैं, एंड ये भी खबर आ रही है अभी वो बड़े बड़े स्ट्रक्चर की जगह शायद छोटे स्ट्रक्चर बनाएंगे, जो भी करेंगे ताकि वो अच्छी तरह मर्ज हो सके। लेकिन अगर इंटेलिजेंस अवेलेबल है तो हमारे पास अब कैपेबिलिटी है कि उनके हम किसी भी ठिकाने में डीप इनसाइड विद एब्सोल्युटली एक्यूरेट टारगेटिंग हम उनको उनके ठिकानों को नष्ट कर सकते हैं। सो वो हमारे जो विकल्प हैं वो चेंज नहीं हुए हैं, इसमें हमारे विकल्प वही रहेंगे। एज फार एज तेजस Mark 1A is concerned, our expectations are based on what qualifications, QRs that we have given earlier. The Tejas Mark 1A is being developed based on certain QRs which were set a few years back, and our expectations remain exactly the same. We expect the aircraft to behave or to be able to achieve those parameters that are set in those documents. And we are very excited to have this aircraft with us as early as possible. I believe the engine flow has started, and some promises are being made. There is some more R&D work which is still pending. That work is still going on. So as soon as they are able to certify the aircraft against the set standards, we are already waiting for them to give us that aircraft. Actually, it's like, hungry mouths are ready. We are waiting for the food now. सिंदूर के चैलेंजेस एंड चाइना, मैं इतना ही कहूंगा कि ये चैलेंजेस तो चलते रहेंगे, क्योंकि कोई भी अगर हमारे पड़ोसी देश हैं उनको अपनी तरफ से अपनी प्रिपरेशन वो कर रहे हैं, हमें अपनी करनी है. सो जिस तरह अगर उनकी तरफ से प्रिपरेशन है, हमारी तरफ से भी वो प्रिपरेशन ऑन है. हम भी हर दूसरे आई मीन से एवरी न्यू डे हम अपना कुछ ना कुछ नया बना रहे हैं उस एरिया में, फॉरवर्ड एरियाज में. अब कितना पब्लिक में आ रहा है, कितना नहीं आ रहा. न्यू ALGs, new airbases are being made, are being developed. New options are being weighed as to how we will be able to take our resources to that forward area, how we'll be able to support our troops in those forward area. And along with that, even challenges of the terrain in that adversary's region, which is quite different than what is there in the Western adversary in terms of elevation, in terms of terrain. So our weapon systems, our aircraft, everything is getting, even our tactics are getting optimized for those challenges of that terrain and the equipment that adversary has. It's a continuous process which is on.
We'll have the last set of questions. I saw a hand, Anju. Anju.
Hi, sir.
Dhruv, please pass it.
ये हमने हैंड एंड माइक जान के रखा है ताकि आपका कैमरा नीचे आ जाए.
सर, माय नेम इज अंजू निर्वाण फ्रॉम TV9 भारतवर्ष. सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि सर क्रीक के पास पाकिस्तान जो है वो लगातार अपनी जो मिलिट्री एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है उनको लगातार बढ़ा रहा है, उस पर काम कर रहा है. और कल ही सर रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया है. उन्होंने ये कहा है कि कराची का रास्ता सर क्रीक से गुजरात से जाता है तो पाकिस्तान का भूगोल बदलने की क्षमता रखता है भारत. तो सर क्या सर क्रीक में जिस तरह से पाकिस्तान इस तरह के एस्टेब्लिशमेंट कर रहा है तो क्या आने वाले दिनों में हम भारतीय वायुसेना का कोई इसको लेकर भी कोई बड़ा ऑपरेशन देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो बिल्कुल विवादित स्थान है जहां पर पाकिस्तान ये एस्टेब्लिशमेंट कर रहा है. और इसके अलावा सर जिस तरह से अभी हाल ही में पुतिन जो है वो इंडिया का विजिट करेंगे, सर सुखोई 57 को लेकर रशिया ने एक प्रपोजल भी दिया है भारत को. तो क्या इंडियन एयरफोर्स को Su-57 सर पसंद आ रहा है, क्योंकि एयर इंडिया का भी वो हिस्सा बना था.
I think Su-57 is already answered. We move to Akshay.
Hi, sir. Akshay Dongre from DD India. Here, sir.
Okay.
Sir, my question is about the future investments of the Indian Air Force. So fighter jets have, for a century at least now, formed the backbone of fighter forces around the world. But many have questioned the viability of fighters in future, let's say 2 decades in future, including Elon Musk. So while, yes, we are investing in the fighter jet technology and that will result in about a decade or so, what is how are we planning for UCAVs and UAVs that can be bought at much lesser cost and in much more larger numbers?
I've already taken. I saw Angad.
So we've heard about LCA Mark 1A and AMCA as well. Where does that leave LCA Mark 2? If we're looking at a 10-year timeline for AMCA, then isn't LCA Mark 2 a bit superfluous?
So one last question.
Yeah, Lenu.
Rahul.
So ये पहले 3 आंसर नहीं करने.
This is the last one.
अच्छा, इसको भी करना है, उनको भी करना है. अच्छा, okay. I thought you were saying.
Good afternoon, sir. Rahul Singh from Hindustan Times. So my question relates to the basic trainer aircraft. So I believe that is also delayed because of the basic trainer aircraft, sir.
Basic?
The basic trainer aircraft, sir.
Trainer aircraft.
Trainer.
Okay.
So that is also delayed because of supply chain bottlenecks at Honeywell's end. So sir, how will it impact your training requirements, considering the current variants you're using are also nearing the end of, or perhaps are almost at the end of their service life. Are you looking at some options? How will you fill these gaps?
Okay, actually, according to me, there are only 3 questions. The first one, which the lady asked, Su 57 में already बोल चुका हूँ आपको, and पहले वाला question कौन आंसर करेगा आप बताइए. आप किसी से पूछोगे अच्छा आप अटैक करने वाले हैं, अक्सर कल करेंगे परसों करेंगे, सर नॉर्थ में करेंगे या साउथ में करेंगे, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. So वो मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर नहीं करूंगा, सॉरी. As far as the second question was about the relevance of fighters, I forget who you asked. So you see, at the moment there are 3 or 4 major programs which are going on in the world, which they're calling the 6th Gen aircraft program, NGAD, and other different names. Now, all of them are manned. So, actually speaking, the importance of man, as of now, as I can see in foreseeable future, I'm not talking about just 8-10 years, even beyond that, is not going to fade away. Yes, there are more and more automation coming in, more and more AI, with that part coming in. There will be, unmanned systems that will be available. But those unmanned systems have to work in collaboration with the manned system or have to be controlled by a man. Some decisions loop में man को रहना जरूरी है. So relevance of fighters will remain in the years to come. Yes, what Elon Musk is talking about, Elon Musk is a businessman. He will talk about it like that because he himself is running a business. But his cars, now you see how many of them are there on the road. I'm talking about just a simple car. So when it comes to war fighting, I don't think we can just say that it will happen, that my next generation will see only unmanned by the end of their tenure. It will not happen like that. So manned platforms will remain. Yes, we have to work towards even unmanned systems, because certain areas where you don't want to risk human life, where you require some unmanned systems, certain areas where they can be ahead of your systems. So the work is on towards that, like a lot of R&D projects are on. Of course, as far as normal UAVs are concerned and combat capable UAVs are concerned, weapon capable, I'm saying, those processes are also in place. But UCAV program is also already DRDO program, Ghatak is on. So we are fully supporting that, and we know that has to be a part of our whole scheme of things, and that vision document 2047 also talks about that. But taking fighters out will not happen. And as far as LCA Mark II is concerned, according to me, LCA Mark II is sort of an extension of Mark 1A. It is a bigger platform with almost, it's a similar class, if I say generation-wise, but it will be able to carry more weapons. It will be able to perform better in terms of range and endurance. It will be able to carry bigger weapons. So that is why that falls very much in our scheme of things. Rather, if you ask me if that program was on time, maybe this next lot of LCA Mark 1A could have been Mark 2s. And that may happen even now if we catch up with Mark II program. We may take a call later after maybe 5-7 years in that part, because we have 180 LCAs to be produced and delivered, which will take some time. Basic trainer, yes, there are issues. We have been, grappling with this problem for some time. But, sometimes these challenging times teach you new things. And that is what we have done. We have readapted our training in a manner that even with the reduced number of platforms, we are able to achieve what we want to achieve in terms of training. We have been now trifurcating earlier in the training stage, sending them to their own type of aircraft. The feedback from the field is good. It is we are able to manage with that. Yes, still the shortages that Air Force has to be filled with the more and more training capacity. So this aircraft that we are talking about, we are very hopeful that it will get into, the supply chain will start quickly and it will start getting inducted, because we have to phase out Kiran in near future. It's very difficult to maintain that aircraft and operate that aircraft. And once that happens, then this aircraft is mandatory. We have to have this, and I don't see any other solution as of now, other than this aircraft. And I'm very hopeful that this aircraft has come around and the supply chain issues will be solved. That was the last.
That is the last. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your support. Like I said, every time I say, let's keep our, whatever we write, whatever we say, let there be positivity in the environment. Let the people be motivated without giving absolutely, those inner gen in terms of numbers and ranges and types of weapon, types of head. I think public will be happy as long as you say that, yes, ये लोग ठीक काम कर रहे हैं या ये लोग ठीक नहीं कर रहे हैं. अगर ठीक नहीं कर रहे हैं तो बोलिए ठीक नहीं कर रहे हैं. But don't give out specifics of, which can be used by the adversary. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.